Welcome back. So this is not a real student paper, but this is the file APA 7th style paper primer, which you will find on Canvas for you to peruse and read as part of this lesson. But just wanted to give you a walkthrough of this particular document, which will also show you the elements of an APA style paper that I just talked about. And so here is the title page, and you notice that there's a page number that starts up top here, and then the first thing you see here is the title of the paper, and this is centered and in bold, and all the major words are capitalized. And so the first thing that you see here is the title in bold, and then you will leave a line space here, and then here are the author names, and then here's the department and the university where you're writing this paper. Here's the course number and the course title. So all of these elements are new in APA 7th, but you will be adding them to your title page for student papers that you write. So essentially papers that you submit for classes. This is the name of the instructor, and then here is the date for the paper. And so these are the elements of a student paper title page. And then you may be tempted to start the introduction by saying introduction up top, but how you want to start the body of your text is actually with the title repeated again, centered and in bold. And that serves as essentially the heading for the introduction. And then you will start introducing your study and justifying it using typically a background lit review or literature review. Now, if you read this particular document, it'll talk about sort of, different things that you'd want to do in an APA style paper. So this is essentially obviously a fake paper just designed to show you the structure of what an APA style paper looks like. So be sure to read through everything because it will give you a lot of important tips on how to cite references, what to do in different types of situations with regard to quotes, which typically I would discourage you from using. I'd encourage you to paraphrase, and APA style manual says that as well. But then the next section to follow the introduction is the method one word, and not and singular, not plural. And this is the level 1 heading, centered and bold. So these are the major sections of the paper, and then under that section there will be subheadings like this. This is level 2 heading. I will talk more about levels of headings in APA style a little bit later in the lesson. At any rate, this is the method. So you talk about how you collected your data and how you plan to test your hypotheses, and then you talk about what you found out in the results section. And then you connect your findings to literature and just kind of talk about, sort of how ecologically valid your results are and so forth in the discussion. And the next section on a separate page start the references. And so again, level 1 heading, centered and bolded title for the page. And the formatting of the references is a little bit different from standard paragraphs, which typically start with an indentation. In this case, you notice that the lines start flush to the left, and then the rest of the lines that follow that particular reference are indented. So this is called a hanging indent. And just for your use down below, I have listed ways to format your references for typically cited types of literature. And so I'd encourage you to just read these examples very carefully. Notice where there are commas and spaces and periods. Usually there's only one space in between elements in this APA style. You want to know what's capitalized, what's not, what's italicized, what's not, and so on. And so that's all. Now you know what APA style papers might look like. Excellent progress so far.